Hi, my name is Ambrish. I'm a writer and a film fan.
Okay.
I just wanted to know about songs, and specifically in the context of Mr. Maniratham's film, songs are a huge part of the narrative. So I just wanted to know, what do you keep in mind while songs have their own rhythm and their own beat, literally. So what do you keep in mind while shooting songs? And the second part of the question is, how different is it when it's a lip sync song vis-a-vis something like Tanhai, where it's music in the background and there is no lip sync?
Yeah, the thing was, song has always been part of film history, and coming to Mani's films, it is used even if it gives high as a visual. I think he was earlier using the lyrics as a storytelling, you know. But I think over a point of time, I think we've slowly come to a situation now where songs become totally story telling tools, you know, where we are intercutting the scene. I mean, we're not getting rid of the songs, but having the songs, but the whole story is trying to be woven into the story, into the song itself, you know, story of the scene from before the song to after the song, whatever's there, trying to weave it. I think that's the whole difference which has happened over the years in terms of songs, I think, because songs slowly have become a little bit of a hindrance in the narrative of a film. It has value in probably publicity and things like that. But unless it really helps the story flow, I think slowly, like if you see also most of the film, the song numbers of songs in a film has gradually come down over the years. I think now it's 2, 3, it was 6 at one point, 10 years back. But now idea is totally to see that even if the song is there, to see how much of the story can go, so that it doesn't look like a song.
Also the second part of the question.
One question per person, please. So,
sure. Yeah, sure.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much for the session.
My question is, how do you
Hello. Yes, sir. So, how do you rate yourself, or how do you judge or critique yourself after so many years of experience? How do you know that you did a good job?
No, I wouldn't know I've done a good job, obviously, because I'll be every day working and somebody has to come and tell me that I'm doing a good job or not a good job for me to understand whether I'm doing a job. Because I'm just going with the flow and trying to work on what best I've over the years learned and, you know, imbibed from different films. I thank all my film directors, so many of them I've worked with, because it opens up my mind in different. I've worked with some people from Assam, and some people from Kerala, and some people. So it sort of opens up your mind about different things and different way of looking at things, and, you know, that's all. But it's you feel good if the director obviously feels good. Feels that the work is good.
Hi sir. So my name is Karthik. I make comedy short films and my specialization is in animation and VFX. So now when it comes to animation and VFX, there's a lot of pre-production involved. Like you take the storyboard, you first cut an animatic, and then the rough layout comes in, and then you cut that as well before going into, you know, getting the final shots and putting them together. So I wanted to know what's your process about approaching something like that. Like how do you do it in the pre-production versus, you know, once the final shot comes in? So that's one part of the question. And second is music. So how do you work with temp music? And that's about it.
Yeah, so I'll just give you an example. Some of you would have seen a film called RRR. So the first sequence in that is an introduction of actor, or the interval sequence. Both the sequences are action sequences. So when they were conceived, They were conceived as a thought first, when the director told the narration. It's at one level it was looking unbelievable because how it is going to come out, because you suddenly say that one person is going through 10,000 people and beating up, catching one guy and stuff like that. So we thought to make it as believable as possible, to make a storyboard out of it first, and it was done on frames, single frames, artwork, and then it was translated into a video, animatrix, whatever, and then we actually did a mock shoot of the same thing with real fight stunt guys and things like that, and we realized that the scale is required, but it's required at some points, but to make it believable it has to be inside the crowd, the camera. So that is how that helped them. So we had a pretty good visualization of this before, and we had an edited length of it, which was first on paper, then on animatrix, and then on short mock shoot, and then the actual shoot happened. So it was almost decided that this is going to be the scene which is going to be shot. So that's why he was able to get those shots which he wanted, because it was done so elaborately. So I think that's the way to actually plan action. I think that's the best way to do it. I mean, it was a good learning experience for me, because more than 2-3 sequences we had done similarly.
Right, so and the sound part of it, sound of temp
music. So the temp music is the scene. Usually, how I operate is I cut without any music. And then, when a presentation happens to the client, it could be a director, it could be a producer, whatever. There we go and get some temp music. See, nowadays temp music is so easily available because most of the OSTs in the world are available on the net. So we find something which will suit this particular film and use it. And some sequences we have to edit with temp music. If there is a montage of time passage and things like that, it would make life much easier to cut it on music, because in a music, to show a lot of information is easier than actually cutting it very linear without music. So that's how we operate.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Can I?
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Shahid. I'm an aspiring filmmaking student. My question is that when you are given with the screenplay or about the short, about the story, you come across the climax, the main climax of the entire narrative of the entire story. Do you have a process when of leading the entire scene towards like entering into the climax and out of the climax? Do you have any process or a way of what comes into your mind when you come across the climax scene? How do you
Climax is the culmination of the whole story. Obviously, it plays a great part in leaving an impression on the script itself. If the climax is not obviously good, then the whole film will look incomplete in that sense. So when you read it, obviously looking at a very good finish. So that is how we also feel every time. And if it is not, so we discuss about that and try to make it better. Unfortunately, in Indian cinema, we have two climaxes. We have an interval climax and we have an end climax. So it becomes that much more difficult because it has become a practice which was not there before, but in the recent past 10-20 years, whatever, it has become a thing, that imperative that you have a huge interval high, which is so high sometimes that the second half does not stand up to the first half, But you have to look at it, there's no other way, so we have to look at it and see that there's a better climax than the first interval part, so that as an audience you get satisfied. That is what you take back home at the end. So and that's the last thing you see and get out of the theatre. So obviously it will make a huge impression on the audience mind when he leaves the theatre.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. My name is Sreekar. I am from filmmaking lecture. So my question is that, sir, which app do you use for editing, and what is the reason behind that? If like you are using Premiere Pro, then why you are not using DaVinci? What is the main reason?
See, it's all a matter of practice, you know. So when I started getting into non-linear in '95, Avid was the only one at that time, and then you make a relationship with the vendor, and he supports you with that. So we keep continuing doing it. See, this is, I mean, you have to look at it as a purely a tool. You know, it's not going to define your editing, whatever the software. Editing you have to do. So the software which you are comfortable with, you can work. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to work on Pro, or you have to work on FCP, or you have to work on Avid. It's totally up to comfort level of work. But if you're working on in an industry where probably lots of places you're going to work and on different studios and things like that, and they're using a particular software, obviously it makes sense to learn that so that you're not at a disadvantage when you reach there. That's all. But it's just a tool. I think you have to whatever software can do the same sort of editing that you want to do, you're well equipped as editor.
So which application do you use?
I use Avid.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. This is QnA. My question is that what all things do you keep in mind, like while editing a movie for a big screen or for a OTT platform? Like, is the process different?
No, not really. Actually, no. But it's only, see, OTT means there are two things in OTT. One is an original film. It is one film, or it can be a series. In series, there's a whole different system of writing. You know, the editing is probably the same. You know, depending on the genre of the film, you're going to go fast, you're going to go slow, whatever. But mainly if it's a web series, then the whole pattern of writing will be different. You know, they will start writing in a way that every episode has a cliffhanger, and then you glued on to see the next. You know, it's like several intervals in one film.
So thanks everyone. I've been told that time's up, so if you could just
Last question. Yeah.
Let's have this is the last question, please. My name is Seema. I'm a film journalist from Mumbai. So RRR, I guess, was your first collaboration with Rajamouli sir.
Yeah.
So you think the film has improved the filmmaking standards for the country, RRR?
Yeah, I think over a period of time, it's not because I'm doing the film or whatever. Over a period of time, he's been upping his game in terms of what you would call technicalities and presentation and things like that. Previously, he has done Bahubali, which was also. So, like that, every film, he's also a filmmaker who's trying to improve, and now he's with. And definitely, he wants to do a better film next time, even more better film. In not only in content, but in the whole aesthetics of filmmaking. No? So it's a continuous process of a filmmaker. If you see his graph, it has been going up. So I think I just joined now.
And any difference you find between the work in South and Hindi movies? You have done a lot of work in Bollywood also.
It's almost very similar in the sense that probably there are more studios in North, studios who are producing films, so probably they have more creative teams which are looking into what is happening on a regular basis, and more people to judge the film and things like that. Where South is basically between the production house and the director.
Yes.
I thank Mr. Sreekar Prasad, Mr. Baradwaj Rangan for giving us a valuable time.